sure about that?
Okay, all right. We're all set and good to go. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay,
all right. That's don't need to hear my voice on there. Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody, for another episode with your boys here at the Truth Media Podcast, where the truth is all about the truth and nothing more than the truth. So help us, dear Lord. All right, guys. This is your boy Q Fusion and my co-host
Double A Half in the building. What's good, y'all? Welcome back.
All right, skeet. I don't have my soundboard today, guys, so I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a little naked today. I like to spice things up with these episodes with some illustrious sounds and the best sound effects in the background. But we will do our best to make you understand that the tomfoolery is live and it's in charge today. We have a clip that from a couple years ago, Killer Mike. And if you don't know who Killer Mike is, he is right now he's probably one of the more prominent black activists. He is a songwriter. He is a producer. He is a rapper. He is a. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm just trying to listen to something.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So he, if you guys don't know, he is in a couple of notable Netflix documentaries where they sort of try to talk about the disparity between within the black community when it comes to a generational wealth perspective, and they were very prominent. So he came on the Breakfast Club, and it looks like him and DJ Envy, as well as Charlemagne and the rest of the Breakfast Club, had a conversation about a number of different things. And I'm presuming they talked a lot about his documentary that came out around this time period. But there was one conversation in particular that got a lot of heated, I guess you could say there was a lot of heated jargon between him and some of the co-hosts from the Breakfast Club, most notably DJ Envy. So there was a debate between public schools and private schools, right? And what is going on in these different communities and why there's a huge gap in the educational system for those of an impoverished communities, most notably in the black communities, right? So without further ado, I want to jump right into the video. Guys, as always, if you vibe with us, if you're enjoying the tomfoolery to which we speak, please do not hesitate to like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you've got some coon, some Uncle Tom, some Uncle Ruckus hate comments ready and set to go, please by all means throw it in the comment section. If you didn't know, we are not thin-skinned over here at the Truth Media Podcast. If you know anything about the truth, it is unabashed and it is unfiltered, right? So that's how we like to keep it here. We don't like to say that we have all the answers, but we like to say that in the seeking of the answers, we keep it straight down the line and to the bristle. All right, so let's jump right into this conversation. Aaron, do you have anything before I kick off? I keep saying your name.
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right, cool. Let's make sure the sound is good. Skeet.
Cop out of, hey man, we sent my children.
You're able to hear that?
Yep.
All right, good.
There for a better education, but the same niggas be telling me how much they paid for college. Your children ain't rewarding that by scholarshiping. After you do them years, you're not directing your children to Howard, not you. You're not directing your children to Howard or Morehouse or Spelman or Bethune-Cookman or Tuskegee University. Then you doing some further chump shit. You done tell them for 5-6 years, you done been called a nigga. You done got a twisted word. Oh, it's a great education. The education don't even teach you as Egypt is in Africa. Don't teach you to be proud of nothing about yourself. It just teaches you how to take tests well and how to participate and coordinate according to the system and the way they teach you. And you never thought, God damn, I could start my own Montessori school, where it's 8 kids in the whole school. And I'm not saying this because I heard this shit in some goddamn chump ass rhyme from a chump ass rapper. I own a third of a block
Kanye.
in Atlanta.
And
The second block next to me was bought by 5 white people who didn't even know each other. And they started a Montessori school within 3 months. Nigga, do something. I used to wonder to myself, man, why is Dick Gregory so mad? Because he cussed me and Tip out the first time we met him. He said, man, what y'all niggas gonna do? March? The same shit we've been doing 50 years? Nigga, they gonna tell you to march. You got to be off the streets by 7 o'clock. If you ain't out, they gonna keep. Yeah, the schools seem better because you buying into that. Why are we not starting our own academies and supporting them? Why are we not supporting historically black colleges and universities? That's where our heroes went. That's where they came from. Dr. King went to Booker T. Washington. You gonna show me a nigga smarter than him? You understand what I'm saying? I don't have no problems with you loving your children. But my children go to public school because I pay taxes in public schools.
Yep, go ahead.
So, because this is a long video. I don't want to just play it all the way through because there's a lot.
By all means.
So just a few things. When he said him and Tip was talking to Dick Gregory, and Dick Gregory was like, "Oh, but y'all gonna march like we did, yada yada." Well, first and foremost, Tip is a T.I. for those who don't know, right? And second, Dick Gregory hit on something there. Now, do I agree with many of the things that Dick Gregory said towards the latter part of his life? But again, a broken clock is correct twice a day. So from that aspect, he was hitting. But again, I would have to say, and this is my issue with brothers like him, who you can see that they mean well. And that's the thing with a lot of our people. They mean well, but meaning well doesn't necessarily get ish done. And we're at a stage right now where it's like, what have you done for me lately? We have to get things done. That's why on this channel, on my channel, we stress the truth. Because when you dwell in the truth, you get straight to solutions. And again, nothing against Killer Mike personally or anything, but he doesn't have any solutions for our people overall. Now, he may have stances on what we're about to get into, but overall, we need solutions, and we offer that here on the Truth Media Podcast and the Truth Media Network. All right, so I just want to get that out there because I don't want to spoil everything.
All right, cool. Also, too, I don't know if he necessarily doesn't have solutions. I mean, I think part of the solution, right, is creating generation. Well, I won't say generational, creating wealth, right, in your neighborhoods, right, to showcase a sort of an end all, right. That the end all be all is not just simply rapping and trapping, right, but it's also investing, right, investing in real estate, investing in a number of other different venues, right, to get you to be able to get that common goal, which is generational wealth. So I think that point that he brought up about how he bought a whole block, right, of real estate, a third of a block within his own town. I think that is a step in the right direction. What I don't know, obviously, and this is where where me and you could probably come to a head, is where what exactly that business was, right? Because I don't know, because what the type of business, because if it's a liquor store, right, obviously that's not helping anything, right? If it's a corner store or a Pueblo, that's not helping anything either. But it's also good to be able to get some those of a kin in those different neighborhoods. So that's something I wanted to just throw in there.
Let me just add a little caveat to what you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to say that you're wrong, but I will say this: like when I'm speaking of the solutions, especially for uh, situations that are as nuanced. If you even want to use that word, nuance doesn't even have the depth to fully encapsulate quote unquote black people and where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you will, he said the next sentence after he said, "I bought a third of a block in Atlanta."
Mm-hmm.
He said 5 quote unquote white people bought a block, and then they built a monastery in 3 months, I believe he said.
Yep.
So again, he'll say, "Hey, we got to buy real estate. That's the solution." And you'll say, "Yeah, we got to invest. That's the solution." And I'll say, "That's not getting to the root. The root is these 5 quote unquote white strangers can come together by what? What do you think it is? Fucking osmosis? You think it's fucking
Mm-hmm.
magnetism? No, it's about culture. They have a strong culture. People always
Yep.
knock the quote unquote fake Jews, but you know what? You got to give them something. They stick together.
Mm-hmm.
They all run by the same code. Period. End the discussion. Quote unquote black people don't. So you can you can have niggas invest in LeBron James. That's called Kevin Durant. It's called Magic Johnson. It's called Oprah Winfrey.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Tyler Perry. We got black investors.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the issue. He himself is an investor. T.I. is an investor. I don't want to hear about, we got to invest. That's not it. It's a cultural problem, and it stems from
Gotcha.
being adapting and like openly appreciating the quote unquote black moniker, because black is not a culture, because black is tied to hip hop, and hip hop is not anything that should be a culture. All right, these are not real. It's not a real culture. That's a faux culture. That's like a culture. So those are the solutions. We got to get to the root. I know there's niggas that's out there investing. So obviously that's not going to be the end all be all that's going to change it for us.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I mean, I think also you have to start from somewhere, right? I think that's more so the point I was taking, that I took away from the fact that he's investing at all. I am with you. I think that it's definitely not going to move the needle if it's not a conglomerate, right? If there's not a mindset change, right? Then you're going to end up right back where you began. But if you are able to, by way of the cultural shift that you're talking about, you're able to get these like-minded individuals together, and then be able to sort of, to project that said change, and then obviously, yeah, then it's way more powerful. So no, I definitely get where you're coming from on that end, right? I think I just am the type where you got to start from somewhere. But I guess if we're meeting with the meeting of the minds, then yeah, you do need to start at the mind, right? You need to start at the mindset. So I would agree on that.
And they named for black people. And either you're going to choose to be excellent and you're going to do better, or you're going to sit your chump ass down and you're going to keep being the same shit over and over, but you can't complain and say that greatness wasn't given to you. If you walk in a school named for Frederick Douglass High School and you do not have the initiative as a parent or the student to walk up and step up to that greatness, but you would do it at St. Pius? You would do it at St. Michael? Man, you a chump.
That's why
I'm not talking about you.
See, so you can sit here and
see that. So then that's, yeah. So you see how he has to like continually do that, right? Because it's very clear that DJ Envy's kids went through a different track. And I'll just, yeah, to that, yeah, and then just that, not talking to you, you know what I'm saying, which is defeats the purpose of the conversation in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Just let it stand. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like I don't know, I'm sure, me and you don't always agree on the Dr. Umars of the world, with the Dr. Umars of the world, but at least when they hold the people to fire, like when they had the conversation with Charlemagne, the conversation with DJ Envy, when he sits down with these individuals, he's not doing this. Like, you throw it out there and then bringing it on back, right? Like, saying putting like to me that just dilutes it, because honestly, you're going to have that energy, cool, but then you got to have that energy for everybody. And also, I'll say a lot of those communities that we're trying to say that are so esteemed and so and have so much history behind them. Well, how are the people in those communities treating those schools? Yeah. Right? If they're the gem that you're, equating them to be, right? They have all this rich history. Then why is it that they're performing at such low levels?
Yeah,
Right? It only goes. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I know you can continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, by all means.
So yeah, but that's a point. It's a great point. And we spoke about this maybe about a month and a half ago on one of our live streams when we discussed the move for Deion Sanders to Colorado.
Yes.
He left at HBCU, and it was alleged that there's a lot of like jacoonery going on campus.
Oh my!
Where people were breaking into his stuff, taking his stuff, and
breaking into his cars
out there. And also there's also articles I've read, like this is like going back, just like seeing here and there, where you have these HBCUs where like their senior staffs are Caucasian and stuff like that. Kind of where you have like an NAACP.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, absolutely. Oh yeah, no, we're for black, but like you're literally like being ran by a Caucasian liberal Jew or some shit like that. So it's like if we're gonna be at HBCU, and that's another issue that this is a whole can of worms, right? Because again, you have an HBCU, then it's like, all right, quote unquote blacks always want to be super inclusive. So now you got the white student unions, you got a lot of Caucasians on the campus and stuff like that. They're still in the minority on some of these HBCU campuses, but that's still like not where we need to go. And I'm not saying that you can't have quote unquote whites there, but if you're going to separate, then you should separate.
Right.
This is an HBCU, and we're gonna, stand tall on our pride and whatever that black thing means to me, because it can mean something to me, and it can mean something completely different to the person standing next to me. Because black is a goddamn, arbitrary word used to describe a group of people based off how the hue of their skin, which I've never seen outside of Michael Black's and Ralph Eastman, I've never seen black person in my life.
Yo,
all right, because
shout out to Ralph, man. I hope
Q Fusion's wearing a black shirt. If you ever see a brother walk up to you looking like that, you probably won't let him get that close to you because you might think he's a goddamn Martian. I'm dead serious. You might be like, "Whoa, wait a second." If he's that dark, you literally are only going to see the whites of his eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is dark.
That's
dark. Come on, man.
Oh man, Black Twitter's gonna be on us.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Please.
No, but honestly, I mean that's part of the I think that's another good point that you're bringing up. I mean, when we're having these combos, I think a lot of people are not taking into consideration, the like, I guess you would say the consistency, right? And I think that is the most powerful thing, because I know when I was at Ramapo, I played ball up there. I played basketball up there, Ramapo College in New Jersey, and when we hit one of the teams that we would have to play, when we were going out of conference, was Yeshiva University, right? And if you guys know anything about Yeshiva University, it's a Jewish school, right? It's a Jewish university. Like and so I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably gonna be one of those programs where they say that they're Jewish, right? But
a whole bunch of niggas come out.
Exactly. Like you're gonna see a whole bunch of Thompsons, say a whole bunch of Jamals and all this other stuff playing with yarmulkes on their head.
Catholic school is Saint Thomas, Saint Pat's. Then you got a whole bunch of niggas fucking that damn well ain't Catholic.
And don't go to church and don't even know how to spell God. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But see what I'm saying? So like that was the thing. So when we would play Yeshiva University, I'm looking at the scouting report, I'm looking for names. I'm like, okay, I don't see a Robinson. I don't see a Thompson. I mean, this was what, like going back 9 years ago now, almost 10 years ago now. So I mean, I don't know. A lot of could have changed. Well, at least when I was in school, going through that roster, the names, I'm like, because you don't see the pictures, right? You're just seeing the names. I'm like, okay, that sounds Jewish. Oh, okay, that sounds all right. That sounds like a Hebrew name. Okay, and then when you would get there, there's a whole bunch of dudes with yarmulkes and balling out. right? They got their all-star, their guy that's like their main guy on the team, and he's got a yarmulke on, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Giving you the in and outs, coming off of ball screens, shooting from 30. Like that was that. And so for me, it's like I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, that if a school says that this is where they're based in, right? Okay, so then I would presume that that is where you meet the line. If you're not somebody who's of that faith, then you probably shouldn't be applying. You probably shouldn't be garnered entry, right? But because of the fact that, like my co-host mentioned, that this community, the Black community, is so gun ho on inclusivity, now you're seeing an influx of Caucasian, Asian, Latino, all different types that are being let into these
not just the
HBCU
student body.
communities.
This is on administration levels and
Yes.
above. It's
Well, I already
levels.
knew that. Yeah, I know Howard is even for an example, right? Shout out to Howard University. They have on their board, I know they have a number of Caucasian individuals that are sitting on their board currently that are making key decisions for the onset of how the educational parameters are set at that school, right?
Yeah.
So,
Quote unquote black
and the
people always
finances.
fucking up. Always fucking up.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, man. I don't
You
get
say
it.
the choke shit all day long.
I'm not
right?
talking about you. I'm telling you, light skin. I know you getting feelings, but I'm talking about you. I'm talking about working class people.
Yo, I'm dead. They got the beige rage
Beige
eater
rage.
in the
He said, I know
fucking-
you light skinned and
the
you get feelings, but I
disrespect.
ain't talking about you.
Yeah, he can't even give him a second, man.
He hit him with that country grammar.
Yeah, he's like,
People.
You are.
I'm talking
But
again
it's
about
known
working
that a
class
lot of
people.
those public school teachers are not getting paid, are overworked, and some of them are not putting the effort out because some of them are the worst teachers in the country.
I don't agree. I'm here to defend teachers.
freaking
You are full
agree.
of shit.
I
As
got-
Tammy-
see this? Yo, holy shit, man.
You are
See-
full of shit.
See this is where you know what I'm saying. Emotion over logic, right? Is not taking over, because if he was smart, right, he would have just said, he would have been like, hey, I'll give it to you. Because that's a reality. There's a lot of teachers that are out there right now where this wasn't their first passion. This wasn't they really don't give a fuck about kids, right? They really just needed an outlet to cash a check. You know what I'm saying? So those individuals are out there. And so you can say like, oh, they're the minority, they're the this, they're that. You can argue that all you want, but the fact is that they're out there influencing generations of children. Right. So when DJ Envy goes to this, is talking about this, you at least have to, again, have that meeting of the minds to say, have a little bit of base to say, I see where your concerns would come from.
No, I totally disagree with that one. Rewind it back about 10 seconds and play it, and then I'll break down.
10 seconds.
I'm talking about working
I'm
class
not saying
people.
you are.
I'm talking.
Let's try it there.
Man, you a chump.
That's why.
Man, I'm not talking about you.
See, you can sit here and say the choke shit all day long.
I'm not talking about you. I'm telling you,
You
light
say
skin.
no,
I'm
but
getting
I'm
feelings, but I'm not talking about you.
I'm not
I'm
saying-
talking about working
I'm
class
not saying
people.
you are.
I'm talking
But
again
it's
about
known
working
that a
class
lot of
people.
those public school teachers are not getting paid, are overworked, and some of them are not putting the effort out because some of them are the worst teachers in the
I
country.
don't agree. I'm here to defend teachers. You are.
All right, so let's just get a few of these, like what they call them, misnomers out the way. A lot of private school teachers don't get compensated like public school teachers do. Many public school teachers, and I'm going to be speaking anecdotally here. I have 3 teachers in my family, one of whom is my wife. The other 2 make 6 figures and have been, and they get summers off and all that stuff, and they get pension, and they're going to be fine. So again, I'm not speaking about teachers in Alabama or Mississippi. I don't know how it's structured down there. Obviously, states are different, right? So from my anecdotal experience, and again, the Breakfast Club, that's in this area. They're in New York. So I can speak to this. A lot of private school teachers, they're not taken care of. They don't have a thing called tenure, and they don't get anything on the back end. And a lot of those jobs, they literally lose. So now it's like the both ends of the sword, kind of, because okay, we could be taking care of bad teachers, but we can also be taking care of good teachers. But then with the private school system, it's like, okay, well, it's a crapshoot because you have people that will just literally say, hey, you know what? I have an English degree. I'm gonna go teach at a private school. I don't give a shit about kids. A lot of people that go through school, and you know this, Mike, they just literally go through school and they have a degree in something that they'll probably never ever use, or they might give it a shot at something that they're not really into. So for him, DJ Envy, to say, "Oh well, hey, well, a lot of these public school teachers are underpaid and stuff like that, yada yada, and overworked," that's just too much of a blanket for me. It's too much of a blanket for me to say, well, let's have the meeting of the minds. It's too blanketed. I can say that about damn near any profession. You know what I'm saying? If I said close your eyes and just hear what I say, this profession is overworked and underpaid and yada yada. At what number example would you have to get to before you said teachers? If I said, because again, it's also subjective. If I said to a group of people, close your eyes, just listen to my words. There's a profession out there who's overworked, underpaid, and because of that, you have some people that are bad at their job. At what number of occupation would you get to before you actually said teacher? So again, it's way too blanketed for me to say, yeah, I'm gonna have a meeting of the minds with this guy. You're just speaking. You're just speaking because that does not lead to any solutions. You can tell me about the problems. Like I see problems every day. So do you. So do most Americans. All right. I don't need someone to tell me about the problems that we already see and already understand. We have the same problems in the police force, right? Why don't we have solutions for that? But do we take the DJ Envy advice and say, oh well, hey, that's why I have my own private security guards. But then he'll be the first person to say, defund the police. You have to understand where you're getting your information from, whether you're actually taking it in or not. And then, it's like my co-host said just before, it's about consistency. DJ Envy is not consistent. He's not consistent. So again, I'm not going to have a meeting of the minds until he can show me some consistency on one side or the other.
Yeah, so I'm going to completely disagree with the, I guess, with your talking point, because I believe that Killer Mike was talking about the average working class in the families, right? So even your anecdotal experience, your wife does not work in a average working class community. She works in a prominent, affluent community, right? So that is going to drastically change the
Okay.
compensation that she's
Hold
able
on.
to achieve. This is you. Hey, hold on. I'm getting through my point, right? I let you go through yours,
Okay.
right? So so first off, your anecdotal experience. Now I don't know about the other two, right? Because I only know about obviously the school system that your wife works through, right? So that's one thing. Now also, if we're talking about the average working class family, we're taking into consideration, like you said, the Alabamas. We're taking into, because we don't know fully, right? But he's coming from DJ Envy. If I'm familiar with his background, he's coming from New York.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that in even a minority, or if there's the majority, or if there is not a number of issues within the educational systems that persist in these communities, right? In these African American communities, based upon the amount of the hours that are being put in by these teachers, the unequal compensation that is being put in because of the work that's put in, and also whether or not that attributes to the effort and the value that's also going to be, not the value, the output, right, of value that's going to be given by these teachers based upon said compensation, right? We can talk about the charter schools that are able to afford, right, to be able to pay their teachers a sizable amount in compensation. But the school 26s, the school 30s, the ones where these people are barely able to make ends meet, are you able to put in that same effort? I don't think that's an unfair dichotomy to bring into the equation. if we're
I
talking
think it
about
is.
the average working class
I think
individuals.
I think it is because what it says is that you have or you hold you and envy. I should say. I'm gonna lump you two together. You hold working class people in such low regard that you would actually say, "Hey, we're going to question your integrity when it comes to your job based off of where you live." At the
I
end
don't
of the
think it's
day,
questioning.
well, hold on. At the end of the day, you can have a diamond in the rough, right? You can have a stellar. You can have a platoon of stellar uh, teachers, counselors, students. You got a genius come out of fucking the public school system in inner city New York. So again, everything is curved. You're gonna have kids that do well and kids that do poorly, no matter where you go. Now, obviously, a rising tide raises all ships. So schools like the private schools that have funding, they should, right? We would expect them to perform better. Does that mean necessarily that their whole staff is better than this school staff? Just off of that alone, I don't think so. I don't think we can just like literally take the correlation and say that's causation.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're doing.
I
But
think
I
I
also
think I
think
think that's kind of what you're doing and how you're
not at
saying it.
all. What I'm saying is that it is multivariate, right? And what I am saying is that to say that is not a part of the equation, right? As to why a teacher's output, okay, of performance may deter away from, as opposed, because we're not saying what I think. What I hope we can at least agree on is that we're not saying that all teachers that work in inner city communities are going to be bad, like, are going to be performing poorly. I don't think anybody here is saying that. I would hope that if I'm not understanding DJ Envy's point that he's bringing to the table, but I don't think he's saying that all teachers that are undercompensated are performing badly. But to say that there's not teachers, and this is and your point is valid as far as like, okay, we could go to any walk of life. There's going to be bad teachers. There's going to be bad dentists. There's going to be bad doctors, so on and so forth. But to say that they don't, but to act as though those people are not being influenced by those monikers and that they do not exist, I just don't think that's a genuine way to look at the conversation. That's all.
So okay, I'm happy that you could at least show credence to that point. But all I'm asking you, my brother, my brother,
Mm-hmm.
all I'm
I'm
asking you to
dead.
do is take it a little bit further, okay? A little bit further, because you're with me to that point, right? So let's just cross this bridge together, all right? Promise you won't get hurt. It's simple. If we can apply that across all landscapes, even the one that he's speaking from, which is private schools, then that's is kind of null and void, in my opinion. Because if we can find it everywhere, then there's no
Mm-hmm.
need to draw distinctions. Because just because you
Well,
send
of
your kid to
course.
private school does not mean you're going to get that result. And we see it all the
Well,
time. We see it all the time.
Well, if there's more shit in one area than another, then obviously yes, you're gonna track to where there's less shit. No.
Is there less shit? Well, all right. Look. I'll say it like this, right? And again, this is another reason why I didn't want to sit here and say, okay, I'm gonna give credence to what Envy's saying, because it's so blanketed that you could take it anywhere, and that's where we're going now, right?
Well, but that's part of a conversation. I think
No, but
that's the important. You can have the conversation. What I'm
no,
not
but
saying
no,
he's
but
right or wrong. What I'm saying
for
is that you can pick apart his argument, which is that's part of the conversation. But
no,
to
but
say
for
that
Envy,
I don't even think you're even saying that he has no credence. I think you're just saying that it's surface level, that it's a lot deeper than that.
yeah, but in the context of the conversation that they're having, when he called him
Uh-huh.
a chump, or he's taking it as he called him a chump.
Right.
If you're gonna combat it, you're gonna combat it, not with some like fucking ice
Okay.
cream cherry on top. Well, oh well,
Okay.
like really no, and obviously
Okay.
there's more to the conversation. There's definitely more to the conversation, and we'll get to that. But I do want to I want to share this part, even though I kind of just lost it. You know, if it comes back, it comes back.
Yeah, no worries. So I mean, sorry about that. I mean, I think if your point is that to combat Killer Mike's argument, you're using that talking point as to do that. Like for instance, I think we talked about when it came to police violence, right? There was the talking points that people were using were just really surface level. They weren't really moving the needle. They were just kind of like, oh well, he arrested him because he's black, right? Those were a lot of the talking points that people would throw at police brutality arguments, and it's kind of like, well, it's not that simple, right? So if you're gonna have a conversation in good faith, then you got to come to the table with a lot better than just, okay, well, there's bad teachers in impoverished communities. Okay, so if that's the point you're coming through, then all right, then I get where you're coming from on that end. Then.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with like the police. Oh, well, there's bad police officers. Okay, so let's defund the whole shit, right? Okay, yeah, all right,
gotcha. Okay.
Are full of shit.
I got to agree with that too. My mom is a public school teacher.
You full of shit. You full of shit. You full of shit.
My mom been a public school teacher for 30 years.
Some DJs whack. You not one of them.
That's good. He's like 3 times bigger than him. Yeah, he's like 3 times bigger than him.
Some DJs is trash, but not you though. Nigga, just say you trash, Envy.
Yeah, for real. Even if he wasn't bigger than him, I mean, DJENVY was getting, his wife was getting plowed, behind his back. I mean, so
yeah. By who? Wasn't me though, right?
Well, he cheated, right? He's known to have cheated, and then she cheated back in retaliation.
Yeah, right.
As a result of it, yeah, they wrote about it all in their book that they came out with.
That's not what happened.
Well, I mean, hey, that's the conversation. He had to go on a whole apology tour, right, where he had to do the whole black women queen thing, and do that whole thing. So yeah, that was a big talk, a big controversy that happened. I believe it was some years ago now. But yeah, they came out with a book. They came out with a big ass book, and how he had to earn his wife's trust back, even though she was out here getting her back blown out.
Yeah.
That's to throw teachers under the bus is wrong.
Nope.
You are wrong.
Yeah, you can't throw public.
Yeah, you are wrong.
You're not going to put words in my mouth. I said some public school teachers are there and they don't give it all, and some of them don't have
some
the
private school teachers.
the same schools that other schools
yeah,
have.
That's fair.
Don't put words in my mouth. I don't put words in yours.
And
that's what I'm saying. Hold
mad.
on. So,
He mad.
But when it comes
look
to
at that Dave's meter.
I let you speak. I let you give your spiel.
Me and Envy always had his
spiel.
When I give my spiel, oh, he's mad. No, I'm just speaking the facts. I've been to public school. I've been to certain states. But for me, learning to do certain things is learning way different. My kids go to private school, right? My son has his own business, has started his own thing, things that he learned that I didn't learn before. You know why? Because those opportunities were given to him. My daughter has been to places most people haven't been.
Hold up, but he didn't have to go to private school in order to attend that. So that's not exactly. Yeah, so let's be careful, Envy. You're straying away from your argument. You're better off saying
he never had an argument. That's the point. The nigga never
had an argument, but the argument was baseless. No. He had an argument, but it's baseless because he's not providing the sufficient talking points to back said argument, right? So therefore, it's a baseless argument.
My daughter's been to places people have never been. It's called getting on a damn plane.
Oh, I wish I had the soundboard.
I think they learned a lot of that from you. They learned more of that from you.
Y'all didn't cut it argue. Right.
It's not only me,
but
they
everybody get rich, send your children to private school. It's gonna all work out.
Classes where they learn real estate in her school. I didn't never learn real estate.
You know what she gets the example from her father, but she get it from her father.
They teach it in school.
Envy, I'm not saying they don't.
Yes, I push my kids, but they
speaking for the working class African American, that child is in an environment that is hostile to them.
And that's why I said that in my own.
That's what I was speaking to.
That was my own experience.
Shut your bitch ass up. Just shut up, Envy. You don't want to hear you talk. Damn.
Yeah,
and I give her credit because she's one.
It's Women's History Month, Aaron. Double AF. We're gonna have to be a little bit more cognizant of our, you know what I'm saying, show a little more love than that.
You're lying. You're lying.
Yeah, it's Women's History Month, man. Starting in March. You know what I'm saying? Proud of all my black queens out there.
You dead serious right now?
It's Women's History Month, right?
Bruh.
Yeah. Yeah,
March is Women's History Month.
Oh Jesus.
No.
Where's my sound effect?
I guess you being serious.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Hold on. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
Oh man.
There's no Women's
God.
History Month. Let's see
You know
what
what I'm saying?
comes up.
You know what? I just want to get, as he's searching that, guys. I want to just give a little shout out to my black queens out there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even just say my black queens, all my queens, all right, that are out there.
March.
This month is for you guys, right? And we here at the Truth Media Podcast. The truth is, we love y'all.
No. Hey, yo. Make the screen larger. Make the screen larger, man.
Oh man. Oh man.
All right, yo.
Oh, man.
First and foremost, obviously, I love women. We all of us men, we love our women. We love, respect you.
Danger zone.
But I don't understand. Well, I do understand. It's coming together in my mind. But we have a Women's History Month. The month after "quote unquote" Black History Month. So that means "quote unquote" black women technically get 2 months of history. Right? Is there a Men's History Month? Is there a Men's History Month?
Well, I mean, the woke and the feminists would say that it's all year long.
Yeah, and you know,
right in the picture.
My rebut to them would be, well, if you want equality, then let's start with equal everything, right? Because you know, you open yourself up to the door of Ben Shapiro saying, well, how come at an NFL game they're playing the "quote unquote" black national anthem? There's not a Jewish national anthem playing at the game, or a Hispanic or Latino national anthem being played, and all this dumb shit. And rightfully so, he can say that, because if you're going to come out and preach equality, but now they're trying to change it to equity, but no, they want equality, but they don't really want that. They want to be in charge. They want to tell you what to do. Right? So we have to stop that. We cannot have a Women's History Month, because we can't have women without man. We can't have man without woman. So we are intertwined. There's no reason to have a Women's History Month. Like that's preposterous on its own. And I already have my reservations about "quote unquote" Black History Month. I've made so many videos about it. I'm not going to get into that now. But women, again, no disrespect to you. History is literally intertwined deeply, whether you like it or not, with men. So my job would be to embrace it. There's no need to separate History Month. What the fuck is that shit going to be about? First of all, let's have Black History Month where they speak about black women. So are we going to speak about the same black women in March? February?
That's right, double time.
Or we bring a whole new pot of names of women that know. And
no. Now we're talking about the other women. Yeah, it's the other women now. Now it's not just the black women. It's all the other women.
Women have done great
Marie
things,
Curie,
and I mean individual women, right? But hey, Women's History Month, you can't exclude "quote unquote" black women. That wouldn't be right or fair, right? So you have to include them, because if not, the shit's all null and void anyway. It's all a fucking game. This is nonsense. I cannot believe that you were serious. And I just saw it said March 1st to March 31st. Women's History Month. What kind of nonsense is that? You want to know your history? God took Adam's rib, created your ass, said you're going to be his helpmeet. And then from then on, we've been populating the earth. And we've had our ups and downs. But that's history. Women's history is man's history. There's no need for distinction. Now, if you want to just highlight certain women, give them a day. Give Harriet Tubman a day, whether it's a federal holiday or not. Like, we got all these. If you ever look at a fucking calendar, I'm not sure when was the last time anyone really looked at a calendar, like an actual calendar. It'll have days on there with like shit at the bottom, like Arbor Day and some other shit that don't really mean nothing, because all you care about is do I have to go to work. If we can do that, celebratory shit, like, hey, fucking do that. Susan B. Anthony? Yeah, sure. February 29th. Every 4 years. Every 4 years we're gonna
damn. That's Black History Month, though. You can't throw her in there. That's not.
Yeah, but technically it's like fringe. You know what I'm saying? It's like only.
No.
Not really. But anyway, y'all get my point though.
Yeah. Shout out to my queens, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Hey,
like, y'all rule the world. Y'all rule the world, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's because of y'all that we're here, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what my co-host is talking about, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, women, you know, I love women. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo.
You know what I'm saying?
You a woman. You a woman.
You're right. You know what? As of today, no, I'm just I can't.
Yo.
Oh man, yeah. Nah, but yeah, seriously, it's Women's History Month. But yeah, I definitely don't disagree with anything you said there. But anyway, as we're gonna carry on, shout out to my queens out there of all different persuasions. As you guys know, I'm an equal opportunity employer, and I love you all.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on 1 second.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. No, we're good.
Did we get a chat?
No, I fucked up. Sorry.
I'm dead, yeah.
Yeah. This that wavelength confusion on right now, y'all. This that wavelength confusion.
Yeah,
on
you gotta get it with the shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my headset. Oh shit! Now you got something on the basement.
Hey, get it!
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No!
You know what I'm saying? Woo!
Yo.
We run this mother effer, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yes,
yo.
honey. Oh, my bad. I thought
I'm
we
sweating
were
too
going.
much. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. No.
All right. So while my co-host is bringing some truth into light, bringing the air to might, guys, you already know the deal. This is the Truth Media Podcast. For those that are joining in with us at this late hour, thank you so much. You could be anywhere, but you are here with us today. We appreciate it and we love you. So if you could take the time out, if you haven't already, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All of these things are free. We love the engagement with our audience. It allows for us to be able to get better at our craft, get better at having these conversations. Because as we are told, we do not know all of the truths, but the truth is what we so seek. So in order for us to get down to the truth, we need to be able to hear it from all angles. And so we are definitely we're loving the engagement that we're getting so far. So we appreciate it. So yeah, just drop that like in on the video if you like this, if you don't. Right. So what will happen is we'll get this live out. But once the live is done, then I'll be able to edit and put it together, send it out so that way everybody can take a look at this video. All right. Yeah. So guys, if you didn't know already, if you haven't been joining us, there are some announcements that we have. We have merch on the way. My co-host has some merch for his channel over at Double A Hef at the Truth Scope, right? Where you guys can get to his. If you go onto his page, you can see the link, so that way you guys can go ahead and shop there. He has shirts, he has hoodies, he has, I believe, he's working on other different types of paraphernalia. So that way you guys can rock our merch, right? Because again, we don't take any super chats. We don't take any other types of donations at the moment. So in order for us to definitely get you guys the best equipment, get you guys the best gear possible to be able to give you the best quality content that we can, right? That obviously takes some money. So we definitely would love to if you guys could support us with our merch when it does come underway. I have some fire designs on the table, just trying to hone down on what are some of the ones that are gonna definitely look good on y'all. Trying to get our Fashion Nova on. All right, Fashion Nova men at least. All right. So, Aaron, are you good? Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that as I'll take that as you're good. Yeah, you're breaking it. You're a little behind right now.
So what I'm speaking to again, because if you rich, you insulated. Speaking to the working class African American, unsatisfied with your school system, radically change it by voting in a new board, put in for new systems to be constructed, or support charter schools. Oh, and then we all get nervous. Oh, charter schools, that's Republican. but pull your children out and start a best academy like in Atlanta.
Or Diddy has his charter school in
and
shout out to Diddy and Steve Perry.
That's all I'm saying.
We
got to stop giving these excuses to leave each other. We do the same. Me and you make money, but people never
It's legit. My father made $50,000.
You said what?
I said LeBron school is a public school.
Okay. Yeah, you're like a little behind, so yeah, it's gonna take a little bit.
Okay. Damn it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just you were a little behind. Let me make sure you're good now. All right. I think you're all right now. There just might be a little bit of a lag.
Knowledge. How the fuck was he going to start a charter school?
Bro.
He did what he could. He took me out of fucking Andrew Jackson, my father. Took me out of
I
Andrew
ain't going to
Jackson.
get your father.
We talking about each other.
I'm with your father. I'm not talking about for you. What I'm saying is, in spite of all the education you got, your dream and your pursuit and your belief in the kid that you met when you told the story about meeting Clue, that's what brought you here. What brought you here is your own self-invention, your own curiosity, your own mind. And in school, that's what it should be. I'm not sending my youngest daughter potentially to Padea because it's a white school. I'm sending her because they actually go outside. They have class outside. And they think art is important as science. You get what I'm saying? Now, if that's the argument you're saying to me, that's fine. But if you're going to simply tell me there's a great business curriculum there, I'm going to retort to say at George Washington Carver High School in Atlanta, they have a dry cleaning program. They have a t-shirt printing program. They have auto mechanics. I learned aviation. I learned how to fly and aviation mechanics at George High School. So my question just becomes, what are we allowing public schools to be now that we've had our mandatory light skin, dark skin argument? What are we going to do?
He's like distancing over.
I'm not done. Yeah, exactly. He was like, I'm still not past my first argument. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we should be moving on. You know what I'm saying? He's got the squint too, the light skin squint too. Oh man, it's been a rough day, man. It's been a rough day.
Publicly, what are we going to do to ensure the children of the working class get what our children have? The confidence that they need to be successful.
And that ain't taught in school.
And see, this is the thing.
If you got the right kind of teacher.
Yeah, if you got the right kind of teachers, but most of that pride and that confidence is instilled at home.
See what you said, and what I'm trying to explain is what you said is they teach aviation, they teach mechanics, they teach nursing, and they teach great jobs, right? But in these other schools, they teach you how to be billionaires, and there's a big difference. There's a big line. And yes,
how many of those kids are going to go on to be
mechanics?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let Killer Mike handle this one.
Because millionaires and billionaires, a lot of them are turning to be billionaires.
Give me a solid number.
I don't know percentages.
Because most people are not going. Let me tell you something.
But it's a
out there in the real world with the fantasy that they're never going
to
wear this much gold, and most people are not going to be millionaires.
They're learning how to be.
I can't talk over.
Yeah, that meter's getting out of control.
Yeah.
I'm with. Yeah.
Slide over because he asked him a question. He said,
"Yeah,
what percentage? Oh, I don't know percentages. It sounds to me, Envy, like you went. You probably had a few schools lined up to interview or like to prospect for your kids, right? And you went to the first one, and they hit you with all of this millionaire, billionaire shit, and you were like, sold. It sounded like a selling point that you took hook, line, and sinker, and that's why you're regurgitating this shit with no stats to back it up.
Yep.
No stats to back it up, right? So where'd you hear that from? Because you damn sure ain't see it. Because if you would have saw it, you would have. Most people speak anecdotally, so you would have went there. So you ain't see it, so you heard it and you're regurgitating it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting jiggy with this. This is a lot of the reason why I don't like ascribe to a lot of the different talking points that are in that the red pill community, right, where they constantly talk about the 1%, right? It's like cool, like if there's gonna be some people that get there. Right, but for the majority of y'all, right, you're not. And I think a lot of the times, I think something you even said earlier was profound about one of the points that we were going back and forth on about how DJENVY and myself from the sort of, I guess, the takeaway we took kind of casts an aspersion on the average working class individual to say that it's not good enough, right? To say that it is not something that you can even ascribe to or should even look to for something you should want. And I think a lot of the times, and this is where I I'm definitely I'm definitely not following. I mean, I haven't been following DJENVY's point since he started after that first point, but because of at the end of the day, this is kind of where you're starting to go into elitism, right? Where you say that if you're making $400,000 a year, can you lead a successful, happy life? Well, no, most common understanding, knowing people can work a $40,000 a year job and have happiness and have some sense of accomplishment in their life. This is the reason why so many guys who want to, chase after dreams or aspirations of things don't want to anymore, because it's not going to meet the quote unquote the pay rate by which they think that the rest of society is going to ascribe to. This is why guys who want to teach, right, who want to enlighten the youth, they see the talking points that Mike Holes was combating earlier, talking about how that, oh, well, you're not going to be getting a good salary, right, and then you're not going to be able to support a family, and then they start looking around. They're like, well, I want to work as a gym teacher. I want to work I love kids. I want to be a coach, right? I want to be able to inspire the next generation of athletes, right? But they a lot of guys, unless they really are gun set and hoe, they tear away from these jobs because it's not attractive enough financially. This is where these kind of conversations start to take, when you start talking like average isn't good enough, just because it's different than from average. The word average is different from the word rich, right? You make one seem better or worse than the other, right? No, it's just a different tier. But to say that you can't derive a successful or happy lifestyle based upon just having a living between that mean of $37,000 to $50,000 a year is just it's really foolish, because at the end of the day, most people are going to fall in where most people fall in, which is within that average.
Well said.
Each other.
Yeah, most people. Yeah, that's you being rude to a guest, Envy.
Oh,
most people.
Oh, damn, we got hit with a copyright.
Already?
Most people want to seek a comfortable
they got us.
live below debt, and leave a piece of
Hold on,
land
I'm trying to see
for their
That's
family.
not true.
That's what most people
That's
are
not
going to
true.
do.
Most people think they
That's
can't.
what most people are
Most
doing.
people think they can't. That's why they don't want.
I didn't say why they don't. I
I
said what most people are going to do. I didn't say what most people
can't. Most people, no, you said
I
most
said what
people
they're going to do.
want to own a piece. No, most people want to be millionaires.
No, they
just
don't.
feel
Envy.
they
Most
can't.
people don't want to
Are
be.
you
The
kidding
people
me?
we
Yes.
know.
Most
No,
people want to be filthy.
I'm
They
from-
just-
All right, we had to pause it just because we got that annoying ass thing. So let's take it down just so that way stop sharing. Oh my God, YouTube, man, you can't let a ninja live.
Did they give us?
Yeah, it says due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyrighted content is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled. The YouTube team.
All right, let me see if we're live right now. I'm gonna go on my phone.
Yeah, hopefully we're still doing.
Okay.
All right, yeah, it looks like we're good.
Okay. Oh wait.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't see it. Oh, no.
Yep.
No, we're not.
Yep.
No, you're lying. All right, now we are.
Okay. Yeah, it probably just took a bit. Yeah, I think we're lagging
no,
a bit.
We're not.
No, I see it on my page.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Oh, it's streaming on my page.
Are you looking at it, stream?
On my page, like my my Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook we might be live, but YouTube we're not. So
yeah, you're
YouTube
saying
viewers, if you're gonna see this video and after, obviously we apologize for the disruption. But when you're giving that truth, YouTube is gonna come and try to shut you down. So for our Facebook people, thank you for watching, tuning in, and all that stuff. Do us a favor. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Let's get it popping. Because we're going to take a couple minutes before we bring the video back up, if we even do. But the last thing I heard Envy saying was that everybody wants to be a millionaire. And I have to disagree with that. I disagree with that. And I can understand. And now this is where I can have a meeting of the minds, if you will, with the DJENVY. I can understand why he would say something like that. But no, I do not believe at all that most people want to be millionaires. I think most people just want to be comfortable. I think most people just want to earn their fair share, be able to provide.
I think we're good. Sorry about that. I think we're good.
Be able to provide, and live a nice, decent life. That's what I think. I don't think most people want to be millionaires per se. You know, I don't think like, and again, the same rule applies to what Envy was saying before. Like again, like he's not consistent. I don't think every public school teacher is a good teacher. I don't think every cop is a good cop. I don't think every player in the NBA is there because they want to be in the NBA. I think they hit the fucking genetic lottery and it was like, hey, well, what the fuck else am I gonna do? Like if you're a Steven Jackson and you're 6'7", what the fuck else was that nigga supposed to do? If he didn't go to the league, that nigga would be locked up, dead, or locked up or dead. You know what I'm saying? So luckily for him, you know what I'm saying, he was 6'7". So again, I don't think most people want. I think people just genuinely, innately, just want like things to be placid. Whether they're making $1 million or whether they're making $40,000, people have shown a resiliency and to make do, and that's why we've come so far as a species.
No, I think that I'm with you. I mean, even with my earlier point, I just think that this goes into even the leaders and the follower point, right? Like at the end of the day, most people, right, are not going to be leaders. Most people are going to fall in the follower realm, right? I think everybody would love the idea of being a leader, right? But then when you actually look at what it takes to be a leader and what it's going to consistently need, you're not only do you not want it, but you start to realize that you just don't have the necessary requisites to be able to even fulfill that job, right? So then you end up doing what's best. You see who's more competent, and then you say, okay, well, how can I best assist you with your path and with your goals, right? And hopefully along the way, I find my purpose, I find my path that I can then, latch on to and create meaning out of my life. Because so I definitely agree with my co-host on that end, because I learned from a very probably the most profound thing, and I wish I would have said this earlier so that way, because y'all be killing us with this watch time. But the most profound thing that I probably have ever heard someone mention was from and I think my co-host, if you remember, I took this this thing called the Landmark Forum course, where, and I remember I invited you to come and so that guy, right? One of the most profound things he mentioned was that, life is inherently meaningless and that humans are meaning-making machines. Okay? And then he just left it be silent, and then everybody just sort of went crazy right after a couple seconds, because you had everybody that was religious, everybody that was that had different beliefs or had all these different things going on. They're looking at him like, yo, what the hell's wrong with you? You're telling me all this time I've been going to church, I've been believing in God, I've been believing in this, I've been believing like, you're telling me all of that is stupid. You're telling me, and it's like, hold on. At the end of the day, life is inherently meaningless, right? It's to say, if I didn't know my co-host and he passed away, and I was to see his name show up on the Gazette, right, the New Jersey Gazette of people who the obituary, would I feel something about him passing? No, because I didn't know him, right? It's because me and him have shared a number of different journeys, a number of different experiences, a number of different occasions, to where he has now had an extreme amount of meaning in my life. And so when you start to realize that as a human being that you are going to just create it out of nowhere, right? It's not going to be something you can control. And that at the end of the day, when it comes to you being a successful or not being successful, wanting to be a millionaire, at the end of the day, you just want to make sure your life has meaning. So does that mean that you have to have $1 million to be able to have meaning in your life? No. There's people that are homeless that have meaning in their life. Just stay alive. That's meaning enough, right? Find something to eat. That is meaning enough. Give a homeless person a muffin and then tell me that he doesn't see any sort of meaning in the muffin that you present to his to his lap. That ninja is going to scarf down that motherfucking muffin. Right? So when we get out of this mentality that you have to have these things, right? You have to have this occurrency to be able to have a successful, meaningful life, right? You're going to stop looking at the educational system. You're going to start looking at the work system. You're going to be looking at it, and obviously I appreciate Envy, he's worked his ass off. He's been successful, but let's be real. A lot of the success that his children are going to have are going to be because of the steps that he's taken in his own life, not because of the schools that he's brought them to.
Exactly.
They have real estate because he is a real estate mogul. Yes. That is it. It's great that they're learning some good things from the real estate school, but it don't mean shit if the person that you have real experience. Jesus Christ! If I wanted to be a rapper and I had Jay-Z as my father, I mean, goddamn, I think I'd be able to put together a good 16.
I remember what I wanted to say before. It just came back.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, as you were saying about like the kids, like Envy being a mogul, right?
Yes.
What I wanted to say is, and I want to say now, is that the difference between like the success rate from a lot of these private schools, which we don't get expounded upon information, is if you have the money to send your child to these private schools, right? You typically have money for second, third, and fourth chances for your child. If you don't have that money and they go to public school, they don't get second, third, or fourth chances. They get locked up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be idle, you don't want to be in school and being productive, you're going to find yourself in prison. I made many videos on my YouTube when people, quote unquote, black people get locked up, beat up, or killed by the police. I say, well, what the fuck was he doing there at that time? When you're not doing anything productive, when you're not moving with a purpose, you will find yourself in trouble. I guarantee it. I don't find myself in trouble because everything I'm doing is for a purpose. When you go somewhere, say you do get stopped. Say you wasn't really doing nothing, but you got stopped. If I say, hey, officer, I just left my brother's house and I'm going home. My brother lives at this address. I'm going home to this address. Then that's a lot from like, oh no, I can't be here, sir. It's a free country, and which it is, and you probably shouldn't be too hard pressed just for being somewhere. But again, you open yourself up to these avenues. Move with a purpose, and you can avoid all that shit. A rolling stone gathers no moss. The moss is the bullshit. The moss is the bullshit. Do you want bullshit in your life? If the answer is no, keep moving with a purpose. So I guarantee your ass, if you just doing your own shit and making no sense of nothing, you're just being, you're going to gather a lot of moss.
Very profound. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I hope you guys got some good takeaways from there. We try to drop some gems of knowledge.
Oh no, I ain't fucking done. Don't ain't no curtain calls over here. No, I'm not motherfucking done. All right? No, I'm joking.
Guys, at the end of the day, say we're not just misogynists, we're just also hateful towards men as well. As you can see, my co-host with the disrespect and the churlishness to cut me off when we are given our swan song to be able to go to the goddamn end of the episode. Just kidding, guys. This has been a fun one, man. I mean, it's always good to watch darks versus lights combat one another in the realm of public opinion. This has been one hell of an episode. I hope you guys, if you guys have taken anything from our message, please let us know, right? Or are we off base? Are we the problem, right? I know there's a lot of wokey wokes, and as my co-host said, the blackity blacks that will then come in our comment section to let us know how wrong we are, right?
Oh, so like please, that one dude. Like that one.
There's dude. A lot of them. There's a lot of them. I can't even say one dude no more.
Nah, dude Kai. Dude Kai.
Oh yes. If you guys didn't see, speaking of Kai, if you guys didn't see one of our episodes, I think it was the African versus African American episode, we have a celebrity guest in our comment section, guys. One of the guys that was actually in the video. Let us know about ourselves. Okay, so if you guys want to read it, it's one of the newer comments, and let us know if we are in fact we are the idiotic what else did he call us? We are this, I guess he didn't call us this, but the simpletons. I think that he would have loved to call us that. He persists in his comments. All right, so guys, this was an awesome episode once more. I really appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to seeing you once more. And with that, peace out.
Shadow on the track. Let's get it. I'm a rock star type nigga, fuck spaz.